Hey there and welcome. Think about this. You do something over 20,000 times a day, probably without even noticing. In this explainer, we're going to follow that exact journey, the path of a single breath, from the air all around you right down to the very cells that keep you going. So, let's dive in.
So, to really get why this journey is so vital, let's start with a pretty intense question. We all know fire is dangerous, right? But what about the smoke? Have you ever wondered why, in a house fire, the real danger often isn't the flames themselves?
Well, the terrifying answer is a lack of oxygen. The smoke literally pushes all the good air out, the oxygen our bodies are screaming for. It clogs up everything and stops our lungs from doing their job. And that right there, that tells you just how critical our respiratory system is. It's not just important, it's the non-stop supply chain for life.
Okay, so how exactly do we get that life-giving oxygen inside us? Well, the whole journey kicks off with this really smart intake system. Its job is to prep the air before it gets anywhere near our super delicate lungs.
And the best way in? Your nose. Seriously, it's so much more than just a way for air to get in. Think of it like a high-tech air treatment plant. Sure, you can breathe through your mouth, but your nose is way, way better for you. Let me tell you why.
So, your nose is actually a master multitasker, doing three crucial things all at once. First, it's a filter. You've got these tiny hairs and mucus that trap all the gunk, dust, germs, you name it. Second, it acts like a heater, warming up cold air to your body temperature. And third, it's a humidifier. It adds moisture so your lungs don't dry out. Pretty amazing, right?
All right, so once the air is prepped, it heads down the trachea. You probably know it as the windpipe. Just picture it as the main highway heading straight for your lungs. And this highway is super well built. It has these strong rings of cartilage all along it. And that's key, because those rings make sure the highway never collapses, keeping the airway open 24/7.
And that highway leads us right here to the main event. We've officially arrived at the lungs. This is where the magic happens. The most important deal your body will ever make. See, the windpipe doesn't just stop. It splits into two smaller tubes, the bronchi, with one going into each lung. And from there, they just keep branching out, getting smaller and smaller, kind of like the branches of a tree, spreading out to reach every single part of these incredible spongy organs.
And what's at the very end of all those tiny, tiny branches? Millions, and I mean literally millions of tiny balloon-like air sacs. These are the alveoli. And this is it. This is what the whole journey has been about. It's all about this incredible two-way street, this perfect trade-off. The oxygen you just breathed in, it slips right through the super thin walls of the alveoli and jumps into your bloodstream. And at that exact same time, your blood drops off its trash, the carbon dioxide, which then gets passed into the alveoli, ready to be pushed out when you exhale. It's an amazing exchange.
But hang on a second. How do the lungs even do that? How do they pull air in and push it out? I mean, they don't have any muscles. Turns out they get all their power from this unsung hero, this powerful muscle working away right underneath them. And that hero is the diaphragm. It's this big, dome-shaped sheet of muscle sitting right below your lungs, separating your chest from your belly. And this is the engine. This is what powers every single breath.
So breathing in, it's actually a really elegant process. Here's what happens. First, your diaphragm contracts and flattens out, moving down. This makes more room in your chest, right? So your lungs expand to fill that space. And that expansion creates a kind of vacuum that just sucks fresh air right in. Simple as that. And breathing out, well, it's pretty much the opposite. But what's cool is that it's mostly passive. You don't even have to think about it. The diaphragm just relaxes and goes back to its dome shape. This makes your chest cavity smaller, which gives your lungs a gentle squeeze and pushes all that used up, carbon dioxide-filled air right back out. You know, this whole amazing system just runs on autopilot 24/7. But it's not invincible. So now that we know how it works, let's talk about how we can take care of it. There are a bunch of things that can mess with our breathing, right? From infections like pneumonia to chronic stuff like asthma. And if you think about it, the symptoms, coughing, feeling out of breath, they're basically just warning signs that this perfect, finely tuned system is having some trouble. But here's the good news, you have a lot of power here. Simple, everyday habits can make a massive difference. You know, washing your hands, staying away from smoke, getting your shots, and covering your mouth when you sneeze. All these are super effective ways to protect your personal air supply and keep things running smoothly.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to one simple, elegant fact. We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. That simple trade, that exchange, that's the whole point of this entire journey. It's the most important deal your body makes every single moment of your life.
Think about that. Your last breath took about 3 seconds. It's so automatic we barely notice it. But it's this incredible, silent journey, a masterpiece of biological engineering happening inside you right now. So the real question is, what are you going to do with your next one?